Hello everybody, welcome back. Today it's character building day, the day where we build a character. What system will it be? Ultra Modern 5? No, we're going to come back to this. Is it going to be Dungeons and Dragons basic? No, it's not that today. It's Sagas. I know what you're thinking. I've never heard of Sagas. That's all right, because I'm going to explain a little bit about it, but that's not really the reason why you're here. I'm doing this because I have a buddy. His name is Dennis, the OKS DM. He's trying to put out a game, and I played this game. I like the game, and I would like him to be able to be successful with this game. So we're here. We're going to make any character you like, because Sagas, you can do that. You can make any kind of character. Anyway, I'll put up a poll. Feel free to take part in that poll. Grab some food, some drink. Make sure you're comfortable. I will say now, you may need dice, you may not need dice. Probably won't, but you will need to make decisions, okay? Because you can make anything you like with this system. And it's still a really fun game, and yes, it still has mechanics to it. Okay, so I'm going to get straight into this. Let's get it cracking. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Weller, and today I want to talk about, well, what am I talking about? I'm talking about a tabletop role-playing game and character creation for Sagas. What the heck is Sagas? I know what you're thinking. I've never heard of it. I've never played this game. Where does it come from? Is it something I would be interested in? I'm not too sure, but I thought the best way for you to determine whether you might like this game is to actually cover the process of building a character for it. So what is Sagas? Well, it actually stands for Setting and Generic Agnostic System. In other words, you can use any kind of setting you like. You can literally make whatever you would like for a character, and it will fit anything. You could play in a sci-fi setting, in a fantasy setting. You could play in a western. You could play anything. So let's actually take it through the ropes. Let's see what you guys can do with this thing. I think you might be surprised by what it does. But first off, like, how do you make a character for this game? Well, there are a couple of steps. The first thing is you'll need to make a character name. Then you will have to actually select a level. We're going to make a level 1 character. You will need to give yourself 2 health points. Okay, you get 2 health. You'll need 2 effort. You're going to want a lot of effort, so 2 effort's a good start. You're going to select 2 traits, and we'll do that. You're going to select 2 struggles. It's not just about being good at everything. Sometimes you're not so good at stuff. So 2 struggles, we're going to pick them. We're going to select 3 talents. You get 3 talents. Talents are different to traits. Don't worry. Okay. Next, 2 pieces of non-advanced equipment. Unless, of course, you've been told you can have advanced equipment by your game master. Then your size will be medium unless you have a feature that would change that. You're going to have a backstory if you want. That's optional. And then you add whatever flavor you want to. So there's very much an idea behind this that, guess what? We can get this done fairly quickly. I've built a character like this so quick, so fast. Let's see how fast we can do this. Let's see how well this works for you. Okay, so let's get you straight over to the character sheet. Let's get you started building one of these characters. And this is it right here. This is our character sheet. This is the character sheet that we'll be using for today. One of the first things I will say is we need to have a name for our character. Like, it would be sensible to have a name, right? So let's start with a name. We're going to have 2 health. It's first level character, so first level. 2 health. Whoops, that's 1. Let's say 2. Okay, out of 2 currently. 2 effort. That was easy. Don't worry about wounds. You're not wounded yet. Nothing's happened to you that's terribly bad right now. Maybe later on, but right now you're all right. You'll be fine. Okay. There are some traits that we need to select. I'm going to go over the traits very quickly with you so that you can see how this works. And then you're going to select the traits that you want. I'll plop them into the character sheet. I will show you what the struggles are. You select from the struggles. I'll plop them into the character sheet. Then you will select from the talents. There is also powers. You can choose to select powers rather than talents if you want to. And then the last thing is going to be equipment. So this should all be done reasonably quickly. And you're probably looking at this and thinking, where's all the mathematics? This game is designed to not require you to have to add numbers together. The idea behind this game is you roll a dice, whatever size dice that is. Sometimes it'll be a small dice, sometimes a big dice, and the lower the number, the better you are. The bigger the number, the more likely you fucked up. Okay, sorry, but that's how it works. That's how dice rolling works in this system. It's super simple. If you wanted to play this with kids, you would have no problem. Okay, if you wanted to play this and just enjoy the idea of role playing rather than adding +1, +2, this bonus, that bonus together, following a particular formula, there's none of that here in this game. Doesn't do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my chat open. I'm going to see what character names you have cooked up for today. I'm sure you've cooked up something, and we're going to build this character. I have a sheet here. So this is the Sagas PDF. This is the quick start rules. This is version 7. So it's not even the final version. And you'll find a link to the Kickstarter down below. I do not normally advertise Kickstarters, but the sad reality is that I like this game a lot, and I would be sad to see it not make its Kickstarter mark. That might be a big ask. Anyway. Scrolling down, now the art is done by one of my mates, and that is Nicholas. Nicholas is Ruxa Zero, the guy behind the mask, the face that nobody sees. Okay, so the basic rules of the game are pretty much listed on one page if you hadn't figured it out. And then we scroll on down here, it sort of explains the different sort of things you can do with it, and then we get to a page that gives you the pretty much like how you would go about playing the game. And then we have character creation, and character creation is listed on one page. So use all the things I talked about before. It gives you the page number, tells you where to go for each step of the character creation process. Piece of cake, nothing to it, right? Easy peasies. So that means we have to go to page 9. Page 9, if I scroll down to page 9, if I can get there, page 9, and we'll see what you've got to play with. So there's a whole bunch of these things. Don't worry about how they work. I'm just going to call them out. Okay, you can actually create your own traits, by the way. You don't have to pick. The ones that are here are just samples. There are rules for making your own traits. So game masters, you can create more stuff for yourself for your games. And potentially your players make traits and then sign off on them if you think they've done it right. Okay, so pretty simple. So what do you get? Attractive, that is a trait. Big, climber, crafter's heritage. Heat resistance, if you need to have heat resistance. Do you want heat vision? What about heatless? You don't give off heat. Keen sense. Lucky, because you're lucky. Night vision. Not hungry, so you're obviously not going to get hungry. Photosynthesis, for those of you who need that. Are you a plant? Power affinity, okay. Prehensile tail, for those of you who like to have a waggy tail. Rough skin. Shadowy statue. Sleepless, I'm not finished. Small, if you feel you need to be small. Soft-footed. Soul-sucking, yeah, that sounds sick. Sure-footed. Thick skin. Vampirism, yes, you could make a vampire. Vocal mimicry. Water breathing, if you want to be underwater you can. Webbed hands and feet, that's right, you can make Abe Sapien if you wanted to. And wings, yes, you can literally have wings. Okay, so these are the different choices. Now I'm going to read through them while you're making your selections, but I'm going to grab my phone because I put it over here to charge. And my phone is now finally fully charged, so we should be able to do this fairly efficiently. So this is the extent of it. Grab this, go over here, and where's my chat? Where's my chat? My chat. Dun, 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 dun. Bam. Nope, not that one. This one. My channel. Where are you? There it is. Here we go. Cool. Okay, so some choices to make. Now, I will go back through and read through them so that you can sort of decide. We have a name already. It looks like Revan. Revan Thacko. Okay, all right. So there's a bit of a joke going on here. If you hadn't figured it out, people. Derp is a patron. Thank you for being here, Derp. Pale Rider, hello, welcome back. We have Noroak. Hello, Noroak. Nice to have you. And I think we've established our name. So let's go with this hashtag instead of the idea thing. I just want you. Look, there's going to be a battle. Look, when you go live stream and you get people to build something, God knows what they're going to select. God knows. So pick two traits. And I will put the name in that you have selected. Revan Thacko. That is an odd one, but let's see if I can get this to actually up. There we go. Now we're in business. I can actually see the updated screen. So if I go here and I put in our name at the top, Thacko. Okay, we have a character name. We now need some traits. So I said I would read the traits off, since you probably want that. I will go through each one, and I will do it backwards or forwards. No, I'll go forwards. So if you want to create your own traits, we're not going to make a trait, but I'll explain how to do it. A trait must be a static feature of the character, not something that can be improved. So it doesn't change, doesn't do anything. A trait must give the PC a passive ability or allow a D8 on checks that benefit from that feature. So in other words, you get a D8 when you roll, or it's just a passive ability that always works. The trait cannot have limited uses. So no limited uses for a trait, that's not a trait. A trait must not allow checks to be made with a D6, so you cannot set it as a D6. If you make a trait that is too powerful, consider how the people and society in the game's world will react and develop, knowing such a trait exists. So this is really for game masters and players to sort of work out. But we're not going to be building a trait. We're going to get you to select a trait. So, attractive. So this has a D8 as a dice roll if you want to use it. It is for sort of persuasion. People love being around you. And, no, I'll just push this in and read it a bit closer. People love being around you, and it could be that you're pretty, funny, or well made. When making a check to convince someone to spend more time with you, you may use a D8. So this is when you're making checks, should you decide to use it. Okay, cool. Big. So this doesn't have a dice roll. There's no dice roll. It's just passive. It always works, okay? Due to your bulk, you cannot be forcibly moved by anything smaller than you. And you can attack within your zone. Okay, you can attack when your zone is filled above capacity. All right. You also take up 4 capacity in a zone. So in other words, you're a bit bigger than normal because you're big. Climber. So there is no dice roll, and this is for climbing movement. Whether it's your hooks, sticky feet, or just strong fingers, you can move along vertical and upside down surfaces as though you were horizontal without making a check. So in other words, it's essentially like Spider-Man's climbing. Yep, it's Spider-Man's climbing, people. Can you get away from that? No. Crafter's heritage. So this is when you're making a crafting check of some kind. The dice roll is a D8, as stipulated when you're doing a trait. Okay, so crafter's heritage, whether it's natural ability from your heritage or just how you're built. But you can use a specific set of crafting tools, so you decide what they're going to be based off the equipment that you have without the required talent. So you don't have to have a particular talent, you can just do certain things with certain tool. Checks you make using these tools may use a D8 when you're making a check. That trait can be taken multiple times, choosing a different set of crafting tools each time. You'll notice there's no limited use. Okay, there is no it recharges on a rest or anything like that. None of that nonsense. Okay. Heat resistance. So if this is for avoiding heat and fire, you've got a D8 for this one. You cannot receive wounds from heat or flames. That's right. In addition, when you make a check to avoid fire or heat, you may use a D8. Okay, well, so we're not going to get injured by it, and you still get to make a check with a D8 if you want to. Nice. Heat vision, for those of you who want to be Superman. This is affecting your vision. There's no dice roll. You can see you can see surface temperatures. You can tell how hot or cold something close to you is just by looking at it. Darkness does not hinder your vision. So heat vision basically is kind of like dark vision. That's essentially what it is. Heatless. This is stealth checks, no dice roll. Whether you're an ice demon, cold-blooded, or a robot, vision that relies on heat sensing doesn't receive benefits when searching for you. So you can't be detected by the heat vision. Okay? And your skin surface is always cold to the touch. What about keen sense? Affected checks, pick one. Could be hearing, vision, touch, taste. Like, just pick something. Pick one of those. Smell. You can take this trait multiple times, picking a different sense each time. There's a dice roll. There's a D8 dice roll for it. Checks that make you use the chosen sense may use a D8. Now, having a D8 is pretty standard, okay, for a trait, for sure. Next, lucky. No, it could be any check associated. There's no dice roll. For some reason, you're blessed with incredible luck. Once per rest. Now, this is a rest one. I'm not sure why it's a rest. It's a limited use. Once per rest, you may re-roll a dice on a check. You must use the result of the new roll. You may do this after you learn if the first roll would succeed or fail. So, okay, all right. And this kind of breaks the, I just noticed, it just breaks the sort of criteria for a trait. Night vision. What's the difference between night vision and heat vision? Vision, D8. Darkness does not hinder your vision. And checks you make to see in the dark, use a D8. Okay. So what is really the difference between heat vision and dark vision? See if surface temperatures. It feels like if I was going to go with one, I'd probably just go with the heat vision because I feel like I get more. But anyway, okay, it's a little bit odd. Not hungry. So NA, no check involved necessarily, no dice roll. Whether because you're a zombie, a robot, or some other creature that doesn't require sustenance, you do not require food or water to survive. You can eat food and drink water, but it gives you no physical benefit. All right, okay. Interesting. Wasn't expecting that one, but so be it. Hello, Wooly. I see there. My chat's only just caught up. People want wings. Or did you want me to put woolly as a trait down? I don't think woolly's a trait yet. Okay? But we can give you wings. Small prehensile tail. Heat vision. No heat. Aha. Okay. I think we should start with a theme or an idea, then pick accordingly. You're never going to do that with a group of people. It's never going to work, Derp. I know what you're trying to do, but it isn't going to work. Because I'm just going to pick the thing that people voted for the most, and that's the thing that I'll make it. Okay? So this is not a themed one. This is just, where can we go? This is from my city. Attractive trait sounds like me in real life. Does it, Wally? Dear. Smell blood. You want to smell blood? Fred, heat vision is infravision, not dark vision. Get it right. All visions are not dogs. Aha, all right. Carmen, hello, Carmen Graves. How are you doing? Heat vision can hide with heatless. Yes, possibly. The character's blind, but sleepless is good. Sleepless is good. So, let's have a look at what we've got. We've got a few votes here. I'll keep reading through some of these, but it would take me too long to go through all of them. So, photosynthesis. Your skin cells can heal themselves in sunlight. If you spend 4 hours in direct sunlight, you can reduce the severity of one wound by 1. If the wound severity is reduced to 0, it is removed. This ability does not restore health. Okay, but it can deal with wounds. Interesting. Power affinity. No dice roll and no dice check. You have a natural ability to learn powers. To have the power affinity trait, you must also have the power attraction struggle. Okay, so we've got to take the trait and we've got to take the struggle to get the powers. Each rank you spend in a power counts as 2 ranks. If this increases the rank of the power above your level, you do not gain the benefit of that rank until you reach the appropriate level. Prehensile tail. So no dice, no check. You can use your tail or to grab things. You cannot wield weapons with it unless you have a talent that allows you to do so. Okay. Rough skin. No dice. Oh, nice dice. No dice check, and the dice used is going to vary. Oh, that's interesting. With a thorny plant or shark, your skin is painful to touch. Okay, because it's rough skin. When you succeed on a avoid check against a melee attack, the attacker loses 1 health. You must also have the rough skin struggle. Okay, so you've got to kind of take both. Okay. Shadowy statue. So a dice roll is a d8 and it's for stealth. You are able to remain completely still when hiding. Checks you make to remain unseen while not moving may use a d8 sleepless. Due to your nature, there's no dice roll and there's no check. You cannot naturally lose consciousness. You do not need sleep and cannot dream. To benefit from a rest, you must spend the necessary time doing a light activity like keeping watch or reading a book. Well done. Okay. Next, small. No dice roll, no check. You are 3 foot tall or 1 meter tall or short, whichever you want to call it. Your size is small, meaning you only take 1 zone capacity instead of 2. All right. Soft feet. Stealthing, dice roll is a d8. Your movement is naturally quiet. Checks you make to remain unheard while moving may use a d8. Okay, that's for sneaking around. Soul sucking. No check, no dice. If you spend 1 hour socially engaged with a living creature, you may choose to fully restore your effort pool. Aha! If you do so, the creature is if you do so and the creature is another PC, their effort pool empties. Or you could empty somebody else's effort pool. That could be a problem. Sure-footed. This is for movement checks. This is a D8 roll, of course. You have an easy time moving through terrain, or easier than most anyway. Movement checks you make to move on ground may use a D8. Okay, that's sure-footed. Thick skin. No check, no dice. You can take more hits than most. You gain 1 additional maximum health. Okay, so it would go up by 1 for the thick skin. Vampirism. That's for persuasion checks and dice roll is D8. You gain a D8 on checks to persuade someone to do something. To gain a D8 on checks that benefit from strength. You gain a D8 on checks that benefit from strength. Your fangs count as a weapon. If you bite a creature, they gain the vampirism trait and struggle after 1 day. To have the vampirism trait, you must also have the vampirism struggle. So if we pick that, we've got to take the struggle as well. Vocal mimicry. So that's voicing mimic. Voice mimic. So you're going to mimic something. D8. Your voice can mimic sounds and other voices. You cannot use this ability to make noises louder than shouting. When you use this ability to assist in a check, that check must use a D8. So, that's good. We're almost there. Breathing water. You can breathe water as though it were air. No check, no dice. Webbed hands and feet. Swimming, D8. For this check, your webbed appendages make you an excellent swimmer. Checks you make to swim use a D8. Wings. You have wings which allow you to fly. You must still make movement checks as needed, but there's no dice roll for this. So, a lot of choices, people. A lot of choices. Like if you wanted a choice in terms of traits, you've got your gambit. So let's see what people have voted for. And I think so far I see a couple that keep coming up. Looks like heat vision might be one of them. Somebody had said wings. Wings or Wally. Wings, Wally, wings. Prehensile tail. Small. What else do we got here? attractive, you're going to smell blood, heat vision, sleepless, sleepless. Okay, a lot of, blimey, talk about sleepless, heatless. Oh my God, sleepless and vampirism equal to vampire. That's right, it does. So I get the impression that we're dealing with heat vision, and it looks to me like maybe even sleepless is actually going to win out. What an odd combination, heat and sleepless. Is that what we're doing? Heat and sleepless. You can see heat, and you want the other one as well. We've got somebody who said heatless. Sleep it is. We will take sleep. Sleepless in Seattle. Da, 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 da. So I would take this one here. It's no check. I'll grab the information for it. I will take it over to my character sheet, and I will drop it into here. Paste. I don't know if you can see it all, but I'm just dropping it in. Sleepless. Okay, and with the information that's here, this is an NA. There's no dice roll. I believe that's correct. Yes, and there's no check as such. You just do it. You just do it. Okay. Okay, that's that one. Next, I believe the other one that people kept talking about was the heatless. Pale Rider keeps saying heatless. I see where we're going with this. Nice. If you put it in more than once, it looks like it's shown up more than once. Aha! Heat vision. So, heat vision, no heat. I think it looks like it's heat vision. All right. I think that's heat vision for this one. There's so many sort of votes, I think, for heat vision, or is it just my imagination? Pale Rider's just put it in multiple times. I'm just trying to check, because he's throwing me just a little bit. Heat. Talk about making it difficult. All right, so it looks to me like this is the one that you want. So let's go up there. I don't know why this is the combination that you require. So we'll go here. I'll take this. Copy. Heat vision. Drop it in. There we go. Heat vision. I believe there is no dice roll, so that's not applicable. So we've done that one. And then the other thing that we need to put in here, it's for vision. So that's checks that involve vision, if it comes up. Okay. Right, next, we're going to do a struggle. We're going to pick a struggle, people. I'm going to call out the struggles. I'm probably not going to read all the struggles out, not unless it's absolutely important, but we'll see how we go. Create your own struggles. A struggle must prevent the PC from making a check, doing an action, or state. It must use a D12 for certain checks. So if there's a check involved, it's got to be a D12. Wow. Okay, heat vision it is. Hello, Fred Huber. Welcome back. And Fred Huber is a patron. Nice to have you. Next, so select a struggle. Select two struggles as it happens. I believe it is two struggles. You don't get one, two. Struggles. I'll tell you what the struggles are, shall I? Arcanist. We have arrogant. We have bad driver, bad sense, bad taste, can't swim, chatterbox, clumsy, defeatist, greedy, hesitant, hoarder, impulsive thief or theft, insomnia, low stamina, meek, measly, moths to flame, naive, necrolopectic. I don't know what the hell it is. I'm not sure. Okay. Poor memory. Power attraction, rough skin, sensitive sense, shy. There's a lot of them. Vampirism, but we don't have the struggle of, we don't have the talent, but there is the struggle. So which one is it going to be? I guess I'm going to have to try to read out a lot of these. Okay, you can create your own struggles. There is the option. Okay, so you guys are going to make some votes while I read these out. I'm going to drink some water and power on through. Here we go. Let's do this. Arcanist. I think it is Arcanist. Yes, it is. Dice roll, D12, social checks. You have problems with authority. Checks made to socially interact with authority figures, guards, government officials, professors, must use a D12. If you fail, you refuse to allow any directions they give. Cannot have the meek struggle. So you cannot take meek if you take this one. Arrogant. Planning is the check. No dice. You always assume you will succeed and cannot make checks to determine your chance of failure. Oh dear. Okay, that's a pretty rough one. Okay. Bad driver. This is for driving and piloting something. You're a D12 for your dice, and checks you make to drive, pilot vehicles must use a D12. Okay. Bad sense. So what sort of check is it? Pick one. Hearing, vision, touch, taste, smell. You can take this struggle multiple times. Pick a different sense each time. It's a D12. Checks you make to that require the chosen sense must use a D12, which means your chances of success aren't as good. Okay, smaller the number is better. Big numbers are bad. So big dice bad, good. Small dice good. Bad taste. This is for fashion. How did fashion come into this? Dice roll a D12. Your outfit always stands out in a bad way. Checks you make to avoid being noticed in a crowd must use a D12. Oh dear. Okay. Can't swim. This is for swim checks. So either the dice roll is no dice roll or it's a D12. While submerged or floating in water and not holding something or touching ground, you cannot move and you sink one zone each turn. If you are touching ground, you can attempt to move, but checks do so must use a D12. Oh my gosh. Even if you've got ground, you're still going to be, and you're in water, you're kind of stuck. All right, chatterbox. So this is for talking. It's a D12. You love talking and have different finishing thoughts and difficult. Hey, no, you have difficulty finishing thoughts out loud. Okay. When you have made a check that requires short communication, the check must be a D12. If the check fails, the communication takes longer than desired. I'm a little bit lost in how this works, but chatterbox, there you go. Clumsy. So this is for attack rolls. Oh, dice roll will vary. When you miss with a melee attack, you hit an object or the GM's choice within melee that isn't being worn or held. Okay, all right, interesting. Defeatist. Okay, this is for repeat checks. No dice roll. You cannot attempt to repeat the check you have failed until 1 hour passes. This does not apply to attacks or avoiding checks. Okay, so this is, all right, I get it. This is for all the other checks you might take. Greedy. This is going to apply to what sort of ability checks? You take more than your fair share when you can. Okay, so I don't know what that means. No dice roll, there's none. When dividing value among the other piece, when dividing value among other PCs or NPCs, you must attempt to take more than any other person receives. This can be a deception or stealing. Okay, so you actually deliberately have to steal stuff. Good Lord. Hesitant. This is for reaction checks, and it's a D12. Reaction checks that you make must use a D12. Okay, this is kind of like the saving throw people in D&D 5e. I think that is. Hoarder. This is for trading items, and the dice roll will vary. You cannot willingly trade or give away equipment unless you succeed on a difficulty 3 check to do so. In other words, okay, that might be a bit difficult. That's a difficult check. You'd have to get 3, 2, or 1. Okay, insomnia. Affected checks are resting. No dice roll. You must make a check to successfully benefit from a rest. The difficulty for that check is an 8. Well, it's not a disaster, but you could still fail it. Anyway, low stamina. Ability checks, endurance, D12 for the dice. When you make a check to continue a physical activity for a long period of time, you must use a D12. Meek, talking. This is the check that you would use it for. The dice roll is D12. You have problems with authority. Checks made to socially interact with authority figures, guards, government officials must use a D12. If you fail, you are submissive to that authority. Cannot have the arcanist struggle. Okay, so you can't pick that one, which they said before. Is it miserly? I don't know what that is. What is it? Is it miserly? What is miserly? So this is for trading. There's no dice roll. While shopping or bartering for goods and services, you must select the lowest cost option. Really? Okay. Moths to flame. So this is for stealth checks. D12 is the dice. Everyone wants to bask in your glow, and your significant presence in a room is sometimes a drawback. Your checks to escape or hide from people must be a D12. Oh dear. Knave. General knowledge checks. There's D12. There are many things that are considered common knowledge that you just don't know. Checks you make to recall knowledge about the world must be a D12. So you could succeed, but you're probably going to fail. Necaloptic. Oh gosh, I can't. Resting. This is for resting. No dice roll. When you rest, you must spend the entire rest sleeping. If you cannot sleep, you must spend it completely motionless. Now we've got sleepless already, so I don't think this is going to make much sense having that struggle. That would make no sense whatsoever. So yeah, we won't be picking that one. Poor memory. This is for memory checks. D12. Checks you make to recall information must be a D12. Power attraction. Avoid magic checks. Okay, D12. Avoid checks you make against powers, magic, sci-fi abilities, and or other special items must be a D12. Rough skin. Affected check is wearing equipment. Oh, that might be a bad thing. You cannot remove clothes or armor without destroying them. That's not a good thing. Okay. Sensitive sense. So pick either hearing, vision, touch, taste, or smell. You can take the struggle multiple times, pick a sense each time. It's a D10. Why is this one a D10 and not a D12? I do not understand. I thought all struggles were supposed to be a D12, but apparently not. Anyway, while the chosen sense is overwhelming, loud sound, pungent smell, all checks must use a D10. Okay, shy. Affected check is talking. It's a D12. So what does shy actually do? Talking to people is hard for you unless you know them well. If a check is required when talking to anyone that isn't a good friend, the check must be a D12. Vampirism. This is all checks. It's a D12. While in direct sunlight, all checks you make must use a D12. Oh dear. That's not good. You lose 1 health each minute you spend in direct sunlight or running water. That's not good either. You could be dead very quickly. You take 1 extra damage from silvered weapons. Oh, okay, this is a bad one. You cannot enter a home without being invited by an inhabitant. So those are the struggles. I'm really wondering what you guys have decided to pick as a struggle. I'm very curious. For those of you who are wondering, we're more than halfway through the process of building this character. If you're wondering, we are almost halfway through. So what do we got here? Fred wants Arcanist, okay, bad driver, can't swim, insomnia is obvious with sleepless. I suppose you could, yes. Falling asleep easily, no. Bad driver, and we're not buying a tank. No, forget about the heatless thing. Heatless is, look, do you see heatless there as I'm pretty sure heatless is not a, it's not a struggle. Bad taste, God, we've got a lot of different choices here. Bad driver, tank. So we want bad driver. Norok's going with bad driver again. Now I see what you're doing. You're putting in your votes more than once, so it looks like it's been multiple votes. Very clever. Greedy is every player. I suppose that's true. Your flaw is going to be vampirism. Okay. I don't know what else to say. Let's have a look here. Let's see if I can actually narrow this down to something that is going to work. Bad driver, Fred Huber and Norok have voted for bad driver. I feel like bad driver is definitely on the cards now. And then bad taste is also. So bad taste, bad driver. We're doing bad taste and bad driver. Carmen and Pale Rider, you sold me on it. It's done. Bad taste and bad driver. Oh, okay. So let's go here. Let's go here. Bad taste. Paste. Bad taste. And what has bad taste also got? It's fashion and it's a D12. 12. D12. D12. Come on. D12. Fashion checks. Oh, God. Fashion. And then somebody said we've got enough votes for bad driver as well. So bad driver, driving and piloting. Bad driver. And that is also a D12, of course, because it is, driving. Is it driving and piloting? I believe it is. Driving and piloting. Okay, bad driver. And piloting. Okay, all right, so that's that bit done. We're going to get some traits done. We've got to pick 3 traits. I'm going to tell you what they are, and you're going to tell me what you want. That's the key. I'm going to read them out, but just give me a second. Traits. So you can actually make traits. Creating your own traits does explain how this process works. I'll do that very quickly. A trait is something that can be learned and improved. If the trait doesn't commonly exist in your world today or in the past, it should be categorized as a power. Talents can require effort to be spent sometimes. Talents can have multiple ranks. If they do, higher ranks should improve the existing ability, not add new ones. Talents should not increase or decrease the die size. Instead, you should state they may use a D6, may use a D8, may use a D10, or may use a D12. No ranks under 3 should allow a D8 to be used for an attack. No ranks under 6 should allow a D6 to be used to attack. No ranks under 2 should allow a D8 to be used to avoid. And no ranks under 5 should allow a D6 to be used to avoid. No ranks under 3 should allow a D6 to be used for any check, and nothing should deal more than 2 damage and add more than 1 damage. Okay, in other words, there's a lot of rules. There's a lot of rules. Let me read them out and then I'll go through them. Okay, we have to select 3 of these suckers, people. There are rules that say that you can have more or less traits and struggles and stuff like that, but I'm not going to go through that. It will just make it too confusing. And the only rank we're dealing with is rank 1 because we're only level 1. So alien translator is a trait. Analyst, arcanist, so that I guess arcanist, bodybuilder, craft. We have disarm as a trait. We have disease doctor. Ooh, that sounds horrible. Double melee, double ranged, double powers, dodge psychic. Really? Driver, if you want to drive something, I guess. Dual wielding, explosive training, fast reflexes. Finishing blow. Oh, it's very Mortal Kombat. Gambling. Is it Griper? What is that? Is it Gripe or it is Griper. I don't know why is it Grappler? It's supposed to be Grappler, or I don't know. Griper. Hacker, handy, IT, yes, I know exactly. I took IT and I took hacker myself. Influencer, investigator, journalist, knowledge, uh, legalese, martial arts, if you want some martial arts there, mechanic, navigate administration, navigation, paramedic, parry and counter, pilots, if you want to pilot something, potent powers. We have remove struggle, sharpshooter, shield cover, sidekick, sneak, sprinter, stealth stow, sweet talker, there's a lot, telepathy, tough, translator, urban survivalist, weapon training, exotic, weapon training, improvised, weapon training, melee, and weapon training, projectile, weapon training, throw-in. We have weapon training, uncommon, weapon training, whip, whirlwind, wild survivalist, wrestler, and there are things that you can take called powers. Okay, but I'm not going to go there really today because I don't want you to pick from the powers because it's going to be too much for me to read through. But there are a bunch of powers here that can be included if you want more of a fantasy sort of character going on. Powers are here, and there's a bunch of them suggested. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read very quickly through the traits, not the powers, and you're going to pick something, right? You're going to pick 3. Don't pick 1, pick 3. I will read them out as best I can. It's going to be a lot of work on my part. Here we go. Hashtag. Pick 3 talents. We've done traits, we've done struggles, and now it's time for a talent. And I will drink some water before I go through this. I'm only going to read out what it does at rank 1. How am I doing for time? Oh, I'm a little bit slow. We're getting there. Now, look, honestly, when you're making a character, it's much faster than this. I'm just reading through a lot of stuff, okay? That's the problem, right? Alien translator. Affected ability check, learning a alien language or a language from which you do not have the necessary biology. Okay. You can take multiple times, learn a new language each time. So rank 1, you can read and write basic ideas in this language. Okay, right, whatever language that might be. Moving on. Analyst. This is interpreting data. The rank 1, checks you make to draw conclusions from raw data, statistics, history, may use a D8. Okay, right. Arcanist. This is for fixing special equipment. Rank 1, checks you make to repair a magical object, may use a D8. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that a lot of the time a talent is something you're pretty good at, and so you tend to get a D8 with those checks when you're starting out. Bodybuilder. This is for strength ability checks. So rank 1, checks that benefit from looking strong may use a D8. So that's at least you can look strong. Okay, craft. Affected ability check is to crafting. This talent can be taken multiple times. Apply to a different kind of crafting each time. It might say be metal smithing or carpentry, cooking, potion making, building, electronics, tailoring, whatever. Rank 1, checks you make to craft using the tools of your trade use a D8. Okay. And then disarm. This is for dealing with attacks. Rank 1, when wielding a medium weapon, you can use a combat action to disarm a creature in melee. This is considered an attack, may use a D8 and deals no damage to the attack. If the attack hits, the creature releases what they are holding in one hand or appendage. The attacker chooses which hand or appendage. So you can disarm. Disease doctor. So this is identifying and treating diseases. Checks you make to identify diseases may use a D8 at rank 1. Okay. Dodge melee. This is for avoiding melee attacks, not ranged attacks. Rank 1, melee attacks against you do not receive benefits from the attacker being hidden. That might be helpful. Dodge ranged, probably more helpful. Avoid ranged attack checks. So rank 1, ranged attacks against you do not receive benefits from the attacker being hidden. Okay, good to know. Dodge powers. Avoiding versus power, magic, and sci-fi, whatever that is. Rank 1, powered attacks against you do not receive benefits from the attacker being hidden. Okay, so this is, okay, another lot of, it's pretty much the similar as the other two. Dodge, psychic, is this basically the same sort of thing, isn't it? So rank 1, avoid psychic. Checks you make to avoid being mind read may use a D8. Okay, so you can't have your mind read with that one. Driver. So this is for drive checks. Rank 1, checks you make to drive vehicles on flat land may use a D8. Okay, all right, cool. Dual wielding. Rank 1, non-combat checks that benefit from wielding two weapons like flourishing the weapon to show off or intimidate may use a D8. Okay, explosive training. Yes, you want to blow stuff up. Crafting and disarm explosives. So you want to make explosives as well. You may craft common explosives as a rank 1. Difficulty 6 check is required to do so. If you fail, the explosive detonates in your zone. Boom, you blow yourself up. Well done. Fast reflexes. Here we go. Better reaction time. So rank 1, you may use a D8 for non-combat checks that benefit from quick reaction time. Finishing blow. This is for attacks. Rank 1, if a character only has 1 health remaining after you deal damage to it, the creature dies. Oh, that's not nice. You can survive beyond, if you go to full to 0 health, it is possible to continue going, but there are penalties and problems with that. Okay, gambling. Games of chance. Rank 1, checks you make to succeed fairly at games of chance may use a D8. Okay, so you can't cheat with it. Gripper. It's not griper, it's gripper. Okay. Okay, gripper. All right. Rank 1, checks you make to grab onto characters, monsters, or objects use a D8. Hacker. Hacking electronics. Rank 1, checks you make to bypass electronic security may use a D8. Once security is bypassed, you can control non-essentials connected to the system. Light stores. I used that to crash a vehicle into a hangar not so long ago. Handy. This is for fixing objects. Rank 1, checks you make to repair mundane objects may use a D8. Okay, IT. So this is fixing tech equipment. Rank 1, checks you make to repair something that uses advanced technology may use a D8. I use that too. Oh, did I? No, I think I was hacking most of the time. Influencer. Whew, there's a lot here. Sheesh. Let's just keep going though. So, influence the population. Rank 1, checks you make to influence a large population, spread rumours, sway the public opinion, may use a D8. Okay, next one. Investigator. There are so many. Investigator. Searching. Rank 1, checks made to search for information, find a book in a library, gather clues from a crime scene, etc. may use a D8. Journalist. Affected checks are locate person, gather information. Rank 1, checks made to locate a person may use a D8. Knowledge. Knowledge of a topic. This can be taken multiple times. Choose a different topic each time. Could be magical creatures, chemistry, history, whatever. Rank 1, checks made to recall knowledge on this topic use a D8. Legalize. Okay. Legal documents. So if you're going to do a legal document, rank 1, checks you make to read legal binding documents may use a D8. Okay. All right. Martial arts. Unarmed attacks. This is for those sorts of things. So rank 1, you do not need to roll a D12 when attacking without a weapon. Okay. That's interesting. Mechanic. Fixing vehicle. So if you want to fix a vehicle as a mechanic, rank 1, checks you make to repair a vehicle may use a D8. Okay. Navigate administration. This is for jumping through needless hoops to get what you need from an organization. Okay. Rank 1, checks you make to receive information or resources from an organization, legal or illegal, may use a D8. Navigation. This is avoiding getting lost in a medium and a medium such as land, sea, or space can be taken multiple times. Pick a different medium each time. Okay, so rank 1, checks made to navigate through this medium may use a D8. That's land, sea, or space. Paramedic, healing wounds. So rank 1, at a cost of 2 effort. God, that'll be a lot of effort. You can spend 5 minutes to attempt to reduce the severity of a wound affecting a creature other than you in melee by 1. If this reduces the wound severity to 0, the wound is removed. Using this talent requires a check. The DC should assign a difficulty based on the wound being healed. Okay, and then a few other things here for ranks. Okay, next, parry and counter. Getting there. Parry and counter. This is for avoiding an attack. Rank 1, while wielding a medium weapon, you can succeed on an avoid check against a creature's melee attack. You must spend 3 effort points. God, that would be hard. We're not going to be taking this one at level 1. It would be pointless because we wouldn't have enough effort to be able to do it. To immediately make an attack against the creature. So this is you couldn't use this at level 1, so don't even bother taking parry and counter. Pilot. Check ability. Pilot vehicles through air, water, space, and other non-land medium. Can be taken multiple times. Pick a different medium each time. Okay, so you've got to pick a type of piloting material. So air, water, or space. Checks at rank 1. Pilot vehicles is a D8. Okay, all right. That's just to pilot the vehicle. Fine. Potent powers. So this is affecting powers, which we're not going to do. Rank 1. Checks made to look powerful using your special ability may use a D8. Okay, so this is just to look good. Remove struggle. Remove a single struggle. Rank 1, you begin work on removing your struggle. Okay. Sharpshooter. This is ranged attack. Rank 1, when wielding a projectile weapon like a gun or a bow, you can attack creatures one zone beyond the weapon's normal range. If you do, the attack roll must use a D12. Well, that's pretty brutal. Shield cover. Avoid. Rank 1. You practice covering allies behind your shield as well as yourself. But you are not yet able to do so effectively. Okay, so I'm not sure what that's supposed to do for you. Let's keep going, though. Sidekick. Do we get a sidekick? Checks. Assist a specific individual. Oh, okay, so you're a sidekick. This can be taken multiple times. Pick a different individual each time. Oh, really? So you pick somebody in your party. Rank 1. It only costs you 1 effort to help this individual with checks. Well, that's nice. I thought it already only cost one effort to do so. Sneak. Go without being noticed. Rank 1. Checks you make to hide from view may use a D8. Okay. Sprinter. This is combat movement. Rank 1. Checks you make to move short distances quickly may use a D8. So this is for sprinting, so you should hopefully be good at sprinting. If you don't take a talent, what you'll find is usually it's a D10 if it's not something you're really good at. So a D10 is slightly worse than a D8. You want low numbers, remember. Stealthy stow. Hide an object. Rank 1. Checks you make to hide an object in an environment may use a D8. Sweet talker. Persuasion. Checks made to convince others that your intentions are good may use a D8. Okay, we're getting there. Telepathy. Avoid psychic. So this is avoiding psychic sort of stuff. Rank 1. You can mentally communicate with creatures within melee that understand a language you also understand. If a creature does not wish to communicate with you, you must make a check to force it to hear your message. Okay, interesting. Tough. This is for health. So rank, you won't even be able to get this straight off the bat. So there's no point taking tough because you don't get it till rank 2. Increase your health by 1. So don't even bother with that one. Translator. Learn a spoken language can be taken multiple times. Learn a new language each time. Rank 1, you can read and write basic ideas in this language. So this is translator. Feels that's different. Is that similar to something else we just read out? I'm pretty sure it is. Urban survivalist. This is living off the streets. So rank 1, checks you make to survive in city locations. Find safe lodgings, cheap food, may use a D8. Weapon training exotic. Okay, you may attack with, this is rank 2, so there's no point going over it, so I'll go past that one. Weapon training improvised, you can have that. Attacking with non-weapon objects. So rank 1, all objects within reason are weapons for you. These improvised weapons break after 1 hit if they are not magical or made of sturdy material. Okay, interesting. There is no rank 2, you have to get rank 3. Okay, interesting. So melee training is for rank 3, so there's no point going there. And then melee weapon training projectile is rank 3, so there's no point going there. Weapon training throw-in is rank 1, you can do that. You can make a close ranged attack with small weapons by throwing them. This is rank 1. Okay. Okay, next. Weapon training common. You can get that rank 1 on that. This is for attacks. You can attack with a specific uncommon weapon. This talent can be taken multiple times, applying to different uncommon weapons each time. Alright, okay. Whip training. Weapon whip training. So rank 1, you can use a whip to pull objects within range of your grasp. Okay, cool. Whirlwind. Melee attack, rank 2. Can't take it, so we'll just leave it. Wild survivalist, feeding off the land or living off the land. Rank 1, checks you make to survive on wilderness locations, identify edible plants and animals, find, create shelter, may use a D8. Okay, wrestler. Last one. God, there's so many. Grabbing to do damage. So you want to grab somebody and lock it in and squeeze the life out of them. Rank 1, when you hold a creature, you can attack them by squeezing vulnerable spots. Whatever you use to squeeze is considered a weapon. This attack uses a D10, so it's not a D8. Interesting. All right, so we need to know what 3 talents we're taking. Okay, there's a lot here, and so we're going to get you to pick that. It's taken me ages to read them all out. So we've got crafting, journalist, and influencer. All right, fine. I will put them in. Crafting, journalist, and influencer. These are our talents. Where's crafting? Should be here. Crafting. You didn't state what sort of crafting it was, so I'm just going to say metal. How's that sound? Paste. And crafting is metal. Because you didn't say what it would be, so I'm just putting that down. So crafting. And I believe, do we have a dice roll for this? It's a D8 and it's craft. And we need to put a D8. That is our check. Now, next one on here should be journalist. And then we got influencer. Journalist, influencer. Journalist. Influencer. There we go. Influencer. So rank 1. We'll grab that, copy, and drop that in. And journalist. And I believe it's a D8 for that dice roll, so that's a D8. And we're dealing with, I think it was persuasion? No, influencing population. Yeah, okay, influencing a large population, influencing a population. Okay, cool. That's that one. And next is influencer, journalist. We've done influencer, it's journalist. Did I put this down wrong? I put journalist here. And I'm supposed to be influencer. What am I doing? Mixing them up. Here. Cut. Paste. Paste. Influencer. Let us grab the influencer. Just grab and drop. Grab and drop. Here we go. Influencer. Copy. And paste. Cool. Sweet. Journalist. What does journalist give us? Here we go. So locating a person, gathering information, these are the types of checks it applies to. So this is the journalist. Paste. Very small. So ranks, checks made to locate a person with D8. So it's a D8 for that check. Paste. I might just take this and cut and stick that here because you're never going to see it in that little box there. It's just going to be too small. Okay, and it's a D8. We've got D8s, D8s, D8s. Okay, so next, last thing, equipment. We get 2 pieces of non-advanced equipment, which is on page 25. So let's go to page 25. 25, keep scrolling down, scroll, 25, up, yep, too far. All right, I'm not going to read out all the equipment. I'm just going to tell you what there is, and you're going to just pick something, okay? It's going to be much easier for me. So, you can create equipment. I'm not going to go over that. So, we can't have anything that's advanced. It has to be non-advanced. ADV means advanced, so you can't have armor. Sorry, you can't have fine armor. You can't have magical armor. You can't have fine magical armor. Sorry, but you can have a climber's kit. You could have a climbing gear. You could have a communication device if you wanted. You could have crafting tools. Might be a good idea. You could have crowbar. We get 2 tools. Crowbar. You could have an effigy of an elder god. Special uncommon weapon. Yes, that's fine. You can have that, I'm pretty sure. You can have explosives, common explosives. You cannot have exotic explosives because that's advanced. And you cannot have uncommon explosives. So that's advanced too. No. Healing device, you could have a healing device. You can have a heavy machine gun if you want to have a heavy machine gun. Fine. Okay. Do you want an infinite torch? It's a special, but it's not advanced, so you can still have it, I'm pretty sure. You cannot have a laser sword. Yes, there are laser swords. You can have a lock repair tools. That's fine. You can not have a long whip because that's advanced. You could have a pistol, which is uncommon as a weapon. You could have a automatic pistol, which is uncommon. You can have that. A pole arm, that's uncommon. A rifle is uncommon. You can have a automatic rifle if you would really like to have an automatic rifle, yes. A rope of gripping is special, so you should still be able to take that. A serrated chain is exotic, you may be able to take that. You cannot take the large shield, but you can have a small shield, that's not advanced. You can have a shotgun, that's an uncommon. A sledgehammer is common, so you can have that. You can have spiked gauntlets, that's common. You cannot have the tome of eyes because that's advanced, and you cannot have the famous weapon because that's advanced as well. But you could have a great weapon if you want. You cannot have a legendary weapon because that is advanced, and you can have a medium weapon which is common, or you can have a small weapon which is also common. Blah 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 blah. So we need to select some gear. Hashtag pick 2 equipment. Pick 2 equipment. All right, so what are the choices? There's no tank today. Forget about the tank. Tank of gas. I don't think there's a tank of gas. A heavy machine gun and explosives. You want explosives and a heavy machine gun. Fine, heavy machine gun and explosives. Well, it looks like the heavy machine gun is definitely on the cards. So we're dealing with a machine gun, are we? Where is my machine gun? Is it machine gun, enchanted? Where am I going? I'm going in the wrong direction. This is part of the problem. Machine gun. Heavy. You said heavy machine gun. Here we go. Long range. So heavy machine gun. Brutal. Okay, let's put it. Heavy machine gun. Paste. And it's a long range. Heavy machine gun requires 2 hands to wield, so you need to have both hands free. It's long range. It's got all sorts of different things that goes on here. It does 1 additional damage. And it is okay, so it's got a long range as well. So there's a lot of information there. I don't know that it's all going to squeeze into this box, but we'll give it a try. Just like that. it didn't actually work that well. But anyway, so this is for attack. You want to attack, and the dice roll for this is going to be a D10, because I'm pretty sure anything that you don't have a talent for this, so I'm pretty sure it's a D10. Pretty sure. Okay. What else did you have? You had explosives. You want to blow stuff up. This game is an A+ bomb, in my opinion. It probably is. Okay, so we want explosives. You can't have advanced explosives. You can't have exotic. You can have common explosives. Explosives common. There we go. That you can have. So now you can blow shit up. There you go. And it'll be a D10 as well, probably, for using it. And it'll be attack. And we need to drop in the information on our explosive common. Do not require, common explosives do not require training to use. They include hand grenades, Molotov cocktail. Oh, great. Awesome. That'll work. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's take this, truck that into there. Paste, and there. And we've built our character. It's done. Like that. That's it. Like that's the character. That's everything. Like you were thinking this was hard. No, it's not. You just pick things, you drop in the information, and it's done. There is no mathematics, really. There's no formulas to deal with. There's none of that. It doesn't work that way. It's a very different game. It is designed to be played as a role-playing game with very light on the dice mechanics and the mechanics full stop. Okay, you do not need to remember numbers and modifiers. All you need to do is remember the dice you have to roll for a special feature that you might have. That's it. There's nothing else to it. So you don't need to worry about the complexity that might exist in other games, because this is not how that game works. Okay, so we now have the opportunity to be a journalist and an influencer and blow things up and shoot holes in things. Well done. Well done. I'm just going to finish up this poll. Look, I would agree that having a theme to build around, having a general idea of what you want your character to be before you go into using Sagas to build a character is probably a smart idea. Okay? I agree. Today we didn't do that. What I wanted to do is show you how much you can do, because Sagas does not use races and it does not use classes. None of that applies. That is all flavor. Okay? That's all flavor, and then you use the abilities to build out the character, whether you think it's a species or race concept or it's a class concept. That's up to you, but there are no classes or races or species in this thing. There's no backgrounds. Essentially, it is just, okay, traits, struggles, talents, and gear. That's it. And then the rest of it, your character fits into your adventure or your story however you see fit. It is very much a rules-lite system. I really enjoyed it. I'm probably going to share Spaceballs, the continuing saga of Sagas. We used the Saga system to play Spaceballs. Those of you who know Star Wars as a parody is Spaceballs. And we took the piss out of it as much as we possibly could. And I'll probably put that up on the channel. It is already on Wally DM's channel, for those of you who don't know. The Kickstarter is down in the description. Whether you like it or not, maybe at least go check it out and see what you think. I suspect that this is going to wind up being one of those games that is a slow cook for people. It might take people a little while to get to grips with this, but I still see a huge amount of value in a game like this, rather than just building another Dungeons and Dragons character, right? I know that sounds like some people, they just want to play Dungeons and Dragons, but you can with this system. It's just super simple. You don't have to remember a lot. Anyway, I'm done for today. I've got to get out of here. You've heard me talk. I need to go. You know I need to go. And anyway, I will be back tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow? It'll be Game Master preparation. We're going to be doing maps. I'm going to show you a lot of mapping software tomorrow. We're going to look at the different options that you might have available to you for building out the stuff and locations you need. That is for tomorrow. But I want to say a big, huge thank you to Dennis, the OKSDM. Really good. I think you did a great job with the system. I know there's some refinement yet to be done. Don't worry. I'm sure it'll all work out eventually. But so far what I've seen is a good system as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, thank you to my patrons who support me. Thank you to Dennis. Thank you to everybody who's been watching and listening and taking part in the poll. Have you made a Sagas character before? No, 69%. Yes, 30%. My gosh, out of 10 votes. I didn't realize that we'd have so many. That's good news. I'm pretty happy about that. That means 3 people did. Cool. Look, whether you've been listening or watching, taking part in the poll or in the comments section, I want to thank you for being here. Those of you in the comments section, like Noroak, who's a patron, Carmen Graves, thank you for being here. Fred Huber, we had Pale Rider, of course, and I believe we had Wally DM here for a little while, hanging out with us, commenting, probably while he's still at work. You never know. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's home. I don't know. It could be. It could be. But thank you, and Derp for being here. I really do appreciate your comments. It does help if you are part of the character creation process. It makes all the difference. Anyway, wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, the night, or the wee early morning, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.